After a long summer break that felt like the silence before a storm, Formula One is back with a vengeance. This weekend, the 2025 Dutch Grand Prix at Circuit Zandvoort will begin what promises to be an explosive second half of the season. Set against the North Sea coastline, Zandvoort is more than just a racetrack. Its sharp elevation changes, relentless high-speed corners, and tight technical layout demand everything from the drivers and their machines. It is a circuit that rewards bravery and punishes hesitation. And with the championship fight now on a knife's edge, there will be no room for mercy. Off the track, the atmosphere will be equally electric. From driver meet and greets to live music, from immersive fan zones to gourmet food and luxury hospitality, the Dutch Grand Prix is not just a race. It is a full-blown celebration of speed and adrenaline. Whether it is your first Grand Prix or you are a seasoned veteran of the sport, Zandvoort is ready to deliver a weekend like no other. Race weekend schedule, local time. Friday, 29 August. Free practice 1 from 12:30 to 13:30. Free practice 2 from 16 to 17. Saturday, 30 August. Free practice 3 from 11:30 to 12:30. Qualifying from 15 to 16. Sunday, 31 August. Grand Prix race begins at 15. Ferrari awakens, Mercedes rises, and McLaren faces its true test. As the paddock returns to full throttle, the biggest question looms large. Can McLaren maintain control of a championship that is rapidly slipping into chaos? For most of the first half of the season, McLaren seemed untouchable. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris dominated race weekends with clinical efficiency. But in Formula One, dominance never lasts long, and now the hunters are closing in. Ferrari returns to the fight. Ferrari sent a powerful warning shot in Hungary. Charles Leclerc's pole position and early race lead proved one thing beyond doubt: the Scuderia is back in business. Though technical issues robbed them of a win, the pace is real, the upgrades are working, and the red cars are more dangerous than ever. They're no longer just qualifying specialists. Ferrari is beginning to show the consistency that has been missing for years, and that should worry everyone. Mercedes finds its rhythm. Do not count out Mercedes. The team has found a new life after a significant overhaul to the car's rear suspension. Their recent pace suggests podiums and maybe even wins are again within reach. The Silver Arrows are not just back in the conversation, they're starting to speak loudly. Verstappen lurks. And then there's Max Verstappen. The reigning world champion had a rough outing in Hungary, but everyone in the paddock knows he's far from finished, especially here, especially at home. Zandvoort is Max territory, and with the Orange Army behind him, Max will be out for redemption. McLaren still leads both championships. Their margin in the constructors' standings is massive, more than double the points of Ferrari. Piastri and Lando Norris are separated by 9 points in the drivers' fight, with Verstappen trailing by almost 100. But with 10 races still to go, that gap can vanish in the blink of an eye. Team principal Andrea Stella is under no illusions. He knows the road to the title is about to get brutal. The pressure rises, the challengers sharpen their weapons, and McLaren is in the crosshairs. The Dutch Grand Prix is no longer just a race. It is the start of war. The summer break is over. The second half of the season begins now, and nothing is guaranteed. The second half begins, and nobody is safe. This is no longer just a championship battle. This is survival of the fastest. The illusion of comfort that McLaren enjoyed during the early season is crumbling. Every team knows it. Every driver feels it. The pressure is no longer theoretical. It is real. It is personal. It is about legacy. Zandvoort is not just another race. It is the first domino. If McLaren falters here, if Ferrari or Mercedes strikes, the psychological blow could shift the momentum for good. 10 races remain. 10 high-stakes arenas where careers are made and titles are lost. Ferrari is smelling blood. Inside the Ferrari garage, confidence is growing. The data confirms what the world saw in Hungary. Their car is no longer fragile. It is fast, it is reliable, and with Charles Leclerc finding form and Carlos Sainz hungry to prove his worth, the red team is preparing for all-out assault. They don't need luck anymore. They have pace, they have a strategy, and they know McLaren is watching. Mercedes is getting dangerous. Mercedes is no longer speaking about development for the first time in 2 seasons. They're talking about results. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell are starting to see a car that responds to their touch, one that can dance on the edge, not just survive. And when a team like Mercedes finds rhythm, the rest of the grid should worry, because a charging Hamilton is still one of the most lethal forces in Formula One. The Verstappen factor. The greatest unknown in this entire equation is Verstappen. He has nothing to lose. He has everything to prove. This is no longer about the title, but about pride, proving that the fire still burns as fiercely as ever. And if there is one place where Max Verstappen can turn the entire season upside down in a single lap, it is right here, in Zandvoort, with a nation behind him. The crowd will be deafening. The expectation is overwhelming, and Max, he thrives in the chaos. The unwritten script of a historic season. 2025 has already given us shock results, broken records, and rising stars. But the real story is still unwritten. Will McLaren hold the line, or will their early season dominance become another cautionary tale? Will Ferrari complete its resurrection and reclaim its place at the top of the sport? Will Mercedes remind the world why they once ruled it all? Will Verstappen rise from the shadows and seize control of his own narrative? Every question begins to find its answer this weekend. The championship battle is wide open. The pace is terrifying. The pressure is unbearable. And the war resumes at full throttle in Zandvoort. This is not just Formula One. This is combat at 300 kilometers per hour. And nobody is backing down.